Right. 28 January 2026. And today I'm excited to be giving you the morning update. We've got a very busy day today. We've got so much news and we need to go through so much that is happening in Zimbabwe and in Africa. And I'm happy to be giving you the most comprehensive news coverage in Africa. So let's go. We're going to go through all these top stories. And obviously, today we've got the key event that has happened yesterday. That is the meeting between Mnangagwa and almost 20 business people that have met with Mnangagwa in Harare. However, the most prominent person to meet with Mnangagwa is obviously Tagwirei, the billionaire businessman of Zimbabwe. He is probably the only billionaire left now after what happened to Strive, which I gave you last night. So we've got a big thing that is taking place, and that is Mnangagwa raising funds. So Mnangagwa is raising funds, and he was meeting with Tagwirei and other business people to look for money. It is not clear what he wants to do with this money. This money is going to be going to ZANU-PF, and it is going to be monthly. So there's going to be monthly payments to Mnangagwa from people like Tagwirei. So that is called a monthly business-led sponsorship initiative to support ZANU-PF's mobilization efforts. And this activity was started by Patrick Chinamasa, who is the Treasury General of ZANU-PF. So that meeting has taken place yesterday. And you can see Tagwirei sitting with Mnangagwa and Chinamasa. You can also see other business people from ZANU-PF, like Delish Ngwaya, in the same meeting. And you can also see people like Tungwarara. I think I saw a picture of Tungwarara in one of those meetings, but unfortunately, I don't think I've got the actual photo. Let me see here. Yes, so this is the picture of Tungwarara in this same meeting. So almost everyone that you know who is a business person was there. So what I believe is happening is that ZANU-PF is obviously preparing for what is coming. Mnangagwa's last year as president of ZANU-PF is this year. So there's going to be a new president of ZANU-PF in 2027. And if Tagwirei is going to become the presidential candidate of ZANU-PF, it means he has to become the president of ZANU-PF. So it's not possible due to what is called the one center of power doctrine. You cannot be the president of Zimbabwe and not be a president of ZANU-PF. So whoever is going to take over in ZANU-PF has to become the candidate of ZANU-PF. It's not possible to have a president in ZANU and a president in government. So what we're seeing here is a preparation, and the absence of Chiwenga here is important. So Chiwenga is obviously not a business person in terms of what these guys do. He's a vice president, but you can see that all the people that are called Zvigananda. So if you remember the word Zvigananda, this is Zvigananda. So these are Zvigananda over here. The only person missing here is Wikinau. And then you're also missing Scott. Otherwise, this is the meeting of Zvigananda. And to top it up, Tagwirei and Tungwarara had a fight. So you can basically see this meeting as a reconciliation meeting between Tagwirei and Tungwarara. Tungwarara spoke up against Tagwirei, and I believe that they had an apology session over here, talking about it, or talking it over, fixing what was now a damaging public fight between people in the same faction. So the Mnangagwa faction is basically met yesterday to fix the problems that they were facing. But Tagwirei, prominent because he is supplying money to ZANU-PF and to Mnangagwa. So Mnangagwa is getting money. And remember that Mnangagwa came back during his leave. Mnangagwa is still on leave. He came back and cut his leave short. So this is some of the things that was fixing and planning to fix. But I foresee a change in strategy with Tagwirei now seen as the person who's going to take over. And I believe that Mnangagwa won't go to 2030. I don't think Mnangagwa will go to 2030. I don't believe that he's able to go to 2030. Constitutionally, it's impossible. And also, it's illegal. So you are aware that this is illegal for Mnangagwa to go to 2030 when he's the sitting president. He can't do it, even if they try to bypass the constitution. So that is what happened yesterday, the meeting between Tagwirei and Mnangagwa, together with 17 or 18 other business people, meeting with Mnangagwa in Harare yesterday. So we'll get more details in other forums. But as I've said, money is going to exchange hands between the business people and Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. They're going to be getting money every month to support ZANU-PF initiatives as we head to the last 11 months of the Mnangagwa presidency. In 2027, ZANU-PF will have a new president and Mnangagwa will be gone. So Mnangagwa is gone. Right, let's quickly go to other news. We've got so much, as I said, to cover. And let's start with some sad news. And this is trending everywhere. So this is the death of the young son of Tendai Wenyika. So the young boy is called Mike Gawa, and he's called Mike Gawa Jr. As you can see there, he is passed away at his home when his mother was not there. The mother was away on a trip, and this is after what is being said is a bullying incident at school. So the school then suspended the boy, and they found him dead in the mother's bedroom. So that is what happened, and it's so sad. And Tendai Wenyika is one of the prominent, I think she's in ZANU-PF, I'm not sure, but she's one of the prominent political players in Zimbabwe. So sad to see that. And this is coming from a fight at school. You can go check it out on all the platforms, exactly what happened over there. And then we have the strange situation that has happened where the wife of Zivanai Mhetu, who is an opposition CC MP, the wife has joined ZANU-PF. She's called Mafudza. She joined ZANU-PF yesterday together with a member of a prominent false prophet, J. Israel. So J. Israel also joined this ZANU-PF officially. So I don't know what's going on here. And what I understand is that there is a recruitment drive that is taking place where members of the opposition are being asked to join ZANU, and they're doing so. But to see the wife joining and the husband not standing there, it means something else is happening behind the scenes. And we're probably going to see more people joining ZANU-PF. But it's their choice. I don't think I have to repeat myself. Anyone who's joining ZANU-PF at this point, they're making a mistake. They will soon regret it. It's not a good idea to join ZANU-PF when things are just about to change. Then we want to go into, obviously, this death that is taking place in an accident. It's still trending. That is Pastor Ngoni Gatsi, who passed away while going to attend the funeral of his grandmother. He had a head-on collision. So I explained to you that these guys, they hit a pothole, and then the car went on the other side, crashed into a combi with 21 people inside. All 3 people in the one car died, and then 1 person in the combi. And one of those people is prominent opposition activist and Pastor Ngoni Gatsi. So sad to see this. And then we've got big stories taking place in South Africa. And this is so sad. So a prominent blogger, Gulam, was found dead at a hotel in Sandon. So police were on the way to save him with papers. And on arrival, they found him dead. So that is Gulam, is a controversial blogger who blogs about politicians and their lives and the plots. So according to reports from the IOL News, Gulam Vadwa was found dead in a hotel. And I believe that they said he was found on the bed. But from pictures that I'm seeing, he was not found on the bed. He was found lying on the floor. So I don't know what happened over there. And he was facing charges of cyberbullying and also charges of charges related to publishing online. So at that moment, when the police were looking for him, they were just about to save him the papers. They found him deceased in his hotel room. So sad. And I don't know what the investigation is going to find about this. Then we also have a very sad story where one of the prominent ANC politicians, Andile Mugwevu, has been found dead in Mozambique in a car. So they were swept away by floods. So 3 people were found dead in the car. 1 person survived, and that is the person who alerted everyone that MMC Andile Mugwevu was taken away while visiting Mozambique. They were carried away by a flash flood. So right now, if you go to Mozambique, if you drive on the roads, you can be swept away because the rain is too much and the floods are too much due to some severe weather which is taking place in Mozambique. 112 people have been found dead so far, and we expect that number to climb. So he was found dead yesterday after disappearing and being swept away on the 17th. So that car was taken away on the 17th, and they only found it 10 days later because rescue operations are still underway and so many dead. The ambassador of Zimbabwe to Mozambique has asked everybody who plans to travel to Mozambique to postpone their trips. So don't go to Mozambique right now because it's very dangerous over there. There's a lot that is taking place in Mozambique. Then let's look at other things. I've got so much to cover today. Let's go into another news story. We've got a big story that is happening with the former coach or the newly appointed coach or previously appointed coach of Highlanders, Thabo Senong. So Thabo Senong has held an interview yesterday in which he explained that he was given hours to leave Zimbabwe after arriving, and he left his bags at the hotel. So he went to meet the players and was told to leave that very moment, otherwise he was going to get arrested. And he has left his bags at the hotel. That is how fast and dangerous it was. He had to be chased out of Zimbabwe because he could not be coach as Benjani was coming. And that was because, obviously, Wikino wanted Benjani to be the coach. He says he was then offered a job as assistant coach or assistant director, a position which he declined. So that is an interview. You can go check it out online. And then we obviously have the top story that is happening in South Africa. This young woman, Mausha, has fired a gun which she just bought, and it killed a young boy who was walking on the street. So she was testing a new gun, fired it, and it, in a freak accident, it killed a young 9-year-old boy who was walking from the tuck shop. So sad. And then let's look at other quick stories here. As I said, today is a very busy day. We've got the Israel ambassador traveling to the Eastern Cape. So the Israel ambassador to South Africa has traveled to the Eastern Cape, where he's going to be funding and assisting with water and hospitals. So on arrival, he had a meeting and he actually gave a speech. However, the ANC government, through the MEC of the Eastern Cape, has slammed that trip and said they should not have taken the trip. It is not, or they are basically opposed to it. That is because the chief, or King Dalinjabo, there right next to him, the ambassador, the one in dreadlocks, has made the ambassador of Israel meet a lot of other chiefs and kings. We're talking of a huge number that have met. So Oscar Mabuyane, who is the MEC, has said that meeting should not have taken place. You can go check out that story. However, the Israel ambassador has committed to supply water and also to help with health care in the Eastern Cape, one of the most poorest and rural provinces in South Africa. Then I want to quickly look at the Themba Mliso accident. I'll let you guys know what happened with that. None of the newspapers I've looked at right now are covering it. But then looking at South Africa once again, one of the prominent youngsters, Themba Mhetu, was found with a huge amount of cash 2 days ago and was arrested. So if you are found with cash that you cannot explain, you get arrested. So he was arrested. And that is, if you are working, let's say in the city of Johannesburg, and we found you with 2 million, it means you probably got that cash from a bribe. So he was arrested and is in jail. Then finally, in South Africa, the South African government is struggling with job losses. So South African cars car manufacturers are closing. And this is because of the Chinese. The Chinese are bringing cars that are so stunning and so out of this world into South Africa. They are dumping them into South Africa. And one of the cars is the Tank 300. This car is an SUV. It costs the same price as some of the small cars. And it's got everything. So it's got everything, which resulted in almost all the cars. So almost any car that you see right now on the South African showrooms is a Chinese car. So half of the cars that are being sold in South Africa are Chinese. And therefore, the South African government has yesterday announced that they are going to be introducing some sort of tariffs on or anti-dumping measures on Chinese cars. Imagine if you were to buy this car, or so they ask you, do you want to buy that car, which has got a service plan, a warranty, and everything for 5 years? You do nothing, you just buy it, and that's your car now. You just drive it for free. Or you want to buy a Mercedes-Benz or a VW, which you have to pay for and which you have to maintain. Do you think someone will choose the one that is being maintained by themselves or the one that is going to be maintained by the Chinese? So that is what is happening right now. We've got a serious problem where these cars are now flooding the market, and the South African government has been forced, after a loss of over 4,000 jobs last year, to consider anti-dumping measures. But it won't work because there's a reason. People are choosing quality, people are choosing low price, and no matter what kind of tariffs these guys put, the Chinese have got a strategy. So what they do, they go in the market, they go in very low, they destroy everyone else, and then they put up the prices. So if you look at anything that you buy from China, it starts cheap, but in the long run, it's not cheap. It is going to go up, and that is what it is. South Africa joining BRICS is one of the worst decisions that South Africans have ever done. Zimbabwe must not do it, because the Chinese model is simple. They dominate you and they destroy the local industry, end up just buying everything from the Chinese. Then finally, obviously, we've got big stories taking place all over the world. Let's look at the newspapers. Particularly, we've got this appointment here, Dr. George Manyanya being appointed as the CEO of the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority. So he's also the board chair of Zinara, and has been congratulated over there. Right, so let's quickly look at the newspapers. I want to go into the Herald newspaper very quickly. I'm going to be back here with Nelson Chamisa's interview. So Nelson Chamisa has given an interview. Chamisa is electrifying everybody. So if you don't know, anything that is happening in ZANU-PF right now is going to be nothing because of Chamisa. Chamisa coming back is a new and unknown quantity. So what is going to happen is unknown. Everyone is talking about Chamisa. There's no one who doesn't talk about Chamisa because Chamisa is going to change everything. You can almost believe it. Believe what I'm saying right now. Chamisa is going to change everything. Right, let's look at the news. Trade surplus swells to 240 million. Guys, this is a joke. So I don't know who is producing these numbers. Maybe it's Mugano. Only Mugano can produce such numbers. In South Africa, a company that makes $5 billion is not in the top 100 of the JSE companies. So for your country to have a surplus of 240 million, that is a joke. So Zimbabwe's trade in and outside is now about 1 billion. The economy has crashed. There's nothing happening in the formal economy. And Zimbabwean companies are not making anything. So our economy has crashed. And these guys don't even know. When they produce these numbers, they think they're producing good numbers. It's nothing. You need a new government in Zimbabwe because the economy has crashed. So the Reserve Bank, all these other guys, they don't even know that these numbers are very silly. What is 240 million? It's nothing in a country with the, we've got 15 million in Zimbabwe right now. It means it's about $24 per person, which is crazy. The trade in Zimbabwe, the surplus is $24 per person. I can't believe it. And then let's look at the elections which are going to take place. So 21 Feb, we've got these elections, I've said it. And then we've got Mnangagwa, Mnangagwa, ambassador Mnangagwa presents a prize to Simpac's best female shooter during a pass-out parade in Chinoy. So that is Auxilia doing a lot. She's back in office. And then let's look at acting president leads aid drive for Mozambique. It makes no sense to have a president and acting president. Mnangagwa is back. Mohadi must just go home. And then let's see what else has happened. Wildlife conversation. So this young lady is Rachel Sibanda. And you can go and read about it in the Herald newspaper. I'm going to quickly look at what else is happening here of interest. Okay, we've got the Tanganda results. So let's quickly look at the Tanganda results. I'm going to unpack these if they need to be unpacked. Let's look at the income statement. I want to look quickly at the income statement of Tanganda. Where is the income statement? So we've got shareholder structure with Mikos at the top. Then we've got Old Mutual, Stanbic. Then we've got Mikos. So I don't see where the other guys are here. There were people here who were in the shareholder structure, but I don't see it. Let's look at the income statement. So revenue is $19 million US, down from 25 million. And then cost of sales is 16 million. And then the profit is $3 million. So that is the profit that they have got. Okay, and then they've got other income and so forth, with a loss of 4 million. So coming out of a profit of 1.3 million, Tanganda is making a loss of 4 million. So that is it. You can go and check it out inside of the Herald newspaper. And then let's go to the Chronicle newspaper. So as you can see, there's really nothing new here. Chronicle Zimbabwe. Let's see what they published today. So there is a Godrich Inferno leaves path for ruin and devastation. So let's see what happened. There was a fire, a big fire yesterday. Firemen assessed the aftermath of an inferno which gutted premises along Godrich Avenue in Bulawayo on Monday night. So there was an explosion and a big fire in Bulawayo yesterday. And then that happens a lot. And then let's look at anything else here. Mudenda urges unity. And that is a meeting that he had with the Tagwirei in Victoria Falls 2 days ago. And then let's look at what else is happening. The Bulawayo Council. So expression of interest for board membership for Ingwe Breweries and its City of Kings business venture. So if you want to become a board member at these companies, you must apply. So I'm going to put this on Gambakwe. And if you want to become a board member, apply so that you can become a board member. So I'm going to put this on Gambakwe, give it another 1 hour or so. I'll be able to put it in for you. Then there was a conviction at Inyati. Go check it out over there. What else do we have? Let's quickly look here. Cricket. So Zimbabwe is playing India. And they've got a very big target to meet. So you can go and check it out over there as the Under-19 Cricket World Cup continues at Victoria Falls. And then the Zivanai Town Council is saying this serves to notify to the public that the Zivanai Town Council will be undertaking evaluation role for all residents. So if you're from Zivanai and you're going to be retiring like next year, like in Mnangagwa, you must watch that very carefully. And then I want to look at H Metro. There's a story there in H Metro, which is very interesting. And I want to show you what diabetes can do to you. So let's look at what Nyamayaro has said. So go to Nyamayaro here. So Nyamayaro has been hospitalized as one of the journalists at H Metro. And he says that he started experiencing the weight loss. And he was shocked to find out that he's got diabetes. And he then talks about why and how he got diabetic. So go and check it out over there. And diabetes is very dangerous, especially if you're a guy. If you get diabetes, almost everything is gone. So he's talking here about someone who is mentally, so you start having mental issues. You start having weight loss issues. You start having issues that kawanda, unotongwa, nema salad. So that is avoid high blood sugars. So obviously, as I said, we're going to be setting up the University of AFM. And at the end of this, I'm going to unpack a little bit. We're still on our 30-day fast, but it's really a big issue. Almost 40% of guys have got some sort of diabetes, and you need to manage your weight. So that is one of the things. And when it comes to Tongwane Masala, check out what was happening here. Go and look at Ngoni, Achitongwa, Nemu Salad. So that is Madam Boss and Ngoni Mnetsiwa. Very funny video that they posted yesterday. Let's quickly go into... Okay, I want to quickly go into the court cases that are coming. We've got Ziambi Ziambi, who is a criminal. So Ziambi Ziambi is one of the worst people right now in Zimbabwe. And we're going to court on the 9th of February. We're going to make sure that he loses his plan to go to 2030 with Mnangagwa. So look very carefully with what is going to happen with him. Ziambi Ziambi is the man to watch. He's got a plan to bypass the constitution and make Mnangagwa go to 2030. Mnangagwa himself doesn't want to go to 2030. But people like Ziambi, they are pushing this idea. So this man must lose. So we must make him lose, support our court case, and help us to fund the fight. So we've got the numbers that we've put, bank accounts, PayPal, and all that. Help us to make sure to stop this man. Stop Ziambi. Ziambi is a criminal and he belongs in jail. And I want to quickly go to our people. So who are our people? Let's look at Facebook. And I'm going to quickly look at, let's start with Hopo. Hopo is one of the guys I like, although Achimborasika, but I like to follow Hopo. If you watch Hopo stuff, you basically see everything that is happening. You won't miss anything if you look at Hopo. So let's see what Hopo is sharing today. And then we'll go to other people. So Hopo is talking about the founding father of Mozambique, the revolutionary president, Samora Machel, spoke about how a society can be destroyed by superstition. So go check out Oppo over there. And then he's also talking about Malawi and the appointment of the board. Manyanya is the board chair, sort of the CEO of Zimbabwe Tourism Authority. So I don't know Manyanya myself. And I don't know why he must be CEO and board chair when there are so many people in Zimbabwe. Then let's look at Minnie. Minnie has been on fire ever since she came back. And let's see what she's doing. We are at Goche Chibage, so they've got maize.
Today we are excited to be coming to you from Goromonzi, where we are at Zivanai farm, and we are just following the crop, as is the mantra for this year. We are following the crop. Wherever the crop is, be it small scale, medium.
Okay, go check that out. She's got maize. I don't eat maize ever. So you never see me eating maize. It will never happen. I don't eat maize at all. I eat munga or mafunde. So there's a guy who was supposed to give me mafunde. I don't know where he went. He never came back. And then President Hakainde Hichilema has welcomed the ambassadors of Germany, Japan, Colombia, and Ghana and Namibia. So President Hakainde Hichilema over here, looking very good and welcoming the ambassadors. This step has been stepped by so many people. And then President Dumaboko, I don't think he has posted today. Let's see what President Dumaboko has said. Right, farewell, Ketesko, that is what we said yesterday. And then we've got Shido Sanyatwe. Did she post? Let's see if she posted. Nothing, same thing that she posted yesterday. Let's look at Nelson Chamisa. Nelson Chamisa did an interview. As I said, I'll bring you the summary of what he said. Without Nelson Chamisa, politics will be dead. And Chamisa is back. Don't underestimate Nelson Chamisa. He is going to do so well. And he's going to change everything. So let's hope that he makes that announcement of his executive. That is the next thing. When Chamisa announces executive, it's going to bring so many changes. You're going to see, like, it's a game changer. Basically, whoever is going to be announced as Chamisa's vice president is going to shock everybody. So there's nothing yet from Chamisa. I'm waiting for it. And then let's look at First Lady of Zimbabwe. So I like what Auxilia is doing, especially with the drugs. But here is the coverage that she's giving on the wildlife. So that is the wildlife. Look at those guns. So I like women with guns, but I stay away from them. Don't go to women with guns. They are very crazy. Like the type of women to avoid: the police, army, and what do you call this? Rangers. Lokwara. So one day, my friend is married to a soldier. They had a fight. Guys, I have never seen such a fight in my whole life. Like, she broke his hand. She beat him up so bad. When I met him, he was not able to walk. Yeah. So these women with the guns, stay away from them. Unokwara, Chikurubi. So this is what happened, and Auxilia Mnangagwa are over there and making sure that everything is covered. Where was I? Where was I? Let me look at where I was. I'm getting lost because of the story. Then let's look at other people. I'm going to look very quickly at who is the last person I haven't looked at? Opa Mchunguri. So let's look at Opa. Opa is not using a Twitter a lot. Ever since she was banned last year, she has slowed down. So she was banned. I don't know why they banned it. So let's look at why is Ivan Kosa trending? Is because his birthday over here. So let's look at Anselam Sanyatwe. So Anselam Sanyatwe is going to appear. You're going to see him. He's going to be one of the people that wants to be president of ZANU. So you've got three people now who are at the front. That is Sanyatwe, number 2, Chuenga, number 1, and Tagwirei, number 3. So Sanyatwe is saying, today our young chevrons will be facing India at 9 o'clock, Queen's Sports Club in Bulawayo. So that was yesterday. And I don't know what happened. I think that is the game where Zimbabwe is facing a very, very big number. They have to catch up because India, I think, had so many, those runs like 350 or something like that. Right, I think we've covered most of what I wanted to cover. Did I look at all the newspapers? One more newspaper to look at. Let's look at the Sowetan, the Star newspaper. I want to look at the Star newspaper before I go. So the Star newspaper is the biggest newspaper in Gauteng. So I hope they're covering Gulam because I don't see other newspapers covering Gulam here. Gulam is a top blogger who was found dead yesterday at a hotel in Santa. So I do not know what happened, but I believe that an inquest is being undertaken. So let's see what they're saying about Gulam. Yeah, right there. Top story. Probe into mysterious Vadwa death. So he was found dead in a hotel room, and Sisulu filed a criminal complaint against Vadwa in July 2024. So the police were going to arrest him when he was found dead. And then we've got this one here. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lefusi, Lesufi, and MEC Vuyiswa Ramahoba addressed the media on the province's latest intervention in foot and mouth. So there's foot and mouth in South Africa right now. So don't eat or bring meat into South Africa. And then we've got Tongat Huliet 6 regulatory reform to save sugar industries. I don't eat sugar. I don't know if you guys do eat sugar. So I never touch sugar. It's very dangerous. If you eat sugar, you won't lose weight and you won't live for long. You die. So sugar is like cancer. It causes cancer. So guys, I think I've covered everything. Let us go now to an important thing. So most of the AFM in Zimbabwe people have been contacting me. That is top people. And yesterday I've talked to other people who are in the International AFM Business Forum. So what we're going to do, we're still going through our 30-day fast. So after we finish our 30-day fast, we're then going to come and introduce the AFM University. We're going to set up the AFM University. It's going to be a business venture. So it's a business venture where we are going to create the university, but surrounding the university, there will be a bunch of businesses. So there will be businesses, there will be property businesses, there will be insurance companies. So you are going to come in as a member and as a shareholder. You are going to own portion of that, what we're setting up. So we want to create one of the biggest ventures for the FM in Zimbabwe. And if I remember, let other people know. And obviously, I know that there are structures that were in place, like the FM International Business Forum. Those are just forums. We are going to register a proper business structure, and you are going to benefit. So we want you guys to benefit. As I said, my own preference will be to set up in Victoria Falls, and we'll make a big thing over there. But there are many things that will happen within the next few weeks. So this is going to be coming alive in February. And my own preference would be we raise something like $1 million, and then we get a very big piece of land in a place like Victoria Falls and work on creating something huge and significant for the AFM in Zimbabwe. So get ready for it. The older generation of the AFM did well by growing the church. Now you need to start benefiting financially because capital is a problem. Do you know that most people, they've got ideas, but they don't have capital? We want to solve that problem. And that structure of the church, it's important to do it, but it's not church's business to run a business. So you have to do it alongside the church, but not inside the church. And it's also important to have a university. If you want your church to have leaders in business, you must have a university. That is why the SDA, there's a yoga, the Catholics, they've got universities, but the AFM has nothing. So the AFM Zimbabwe has nothing. It's the only church where the only thing you get is a Bible, nothing else. But that's not bad. The purpose of a church is not to do business. That is why you have to do it outside. And the good thing is you've got Gambakwe. And Gambakwe is someone that has got a lot of people that follow him all over. So no one in the AFM doesn't know this now. Imagine what we can do if we get it done. So I've done so many projects, and this is going to be our biggest project. I love it. I love the FM, and I hope that you guys become part of it. Let's go to our second sponsor, Mve. So Mve is our second sponsor. So talking about diabetes, if you take Mve, it treats diabetes, it treats a lot of other things, high blood pressure, it treats and prevents cancers. So it's a powerful help. And we currently have a special for Zimbabwe and South Africa, Valentine's special. If you buy one packet, at the same price, you get a free 2 perfumes. So that is imported perfumes. Get yourself these perfumes. And then, obviously, you will see the benefits. Don't play with diabetes. Diabetes causes cancer. It causes high blood pressure. If you see yourself with diabetes, you most likely have high blood pressure. And in a few years' time, you might be dealing with cancers. And because these things work together, they are called metabolic diseases. So very important, WhatsApp these numbers on the screen and arrange to pick up or to get delivery by DHL. Or you can pick up in Bulawayo, Harare, Johannesburg, Cape Town, and then DHL in the UK, Scotland, Ireland, all those countries. You can get it. And then Fixly, if you want someone to fix your house, someone to paint, someone to do electricals, download the Fixly app and you'll be able to push through and get someone who can do your work. And it's guaranteed. If someone from Fixly fixes your house and they don't do a good job, WhatsApp me. We'll make them come back and fix it for free. All right. And then let's go to, let's see if I've got another sponsor here. I do not have another sponsor. Bulawayo City Council. They're busy with the expression of interest. I am so reluctant to do anything in Bulawayo, guys. I don't want to lie to you. I'm so reluctant to do anything in Bulawayo. There's no water. The guys are corrupt. Like, the Bulawayo City Council is one of the most corrupt councils. I'm so disgusted sometimes when I think about what they did when we wanted to do a project at Bulawayo. So I'm very reluctant. And yesterday, I thought about putting out that project I wanted to do, and my spirit is just not wanting to do Bulawayo anymore. I'm just fed up with the Bulawayo. I'm fed up and I don't like it. So maybe someone else can do Bulawayo, but I'll be doing Victoria Falls. In terms of Kariba, so I want to explain to you what is happening at Kariba. Kariba, we've got a project over there. I'm going to be getting out of that project I'm going to be giving it away to the guys. There are certain people who have been disturbing our project. I'm going to give it to them so that they can run it. Because I don't want to be disturbed with the Kariba and issues over there. So there is a court case that they brought against us, which was struck off the road. So they keep going to court, and they keep going to court to disturb us. They're not there to do anything, just to disturb us. So they went to court last year, and the case was thrown out. They went to court. We started in 2022. We've never been able to start because they keep going to court. So what we're going to do, today I'm going to write to the court, and I'm going to give them the project. They can continue to do the project, and I want to see who is the judge here. So let's quickly look at the judge so that you guys can know, and so that the judge can also know. So what happened is that there is a law company here called Tamuka Moyo Associates, and there's someone called Oscar Tapera. Oscar Tapera was the last person to join our project. When he came, we had already gathered everybody. So everyone was finished, everyone had paid, we had bought land. So he came in as the last person into the project. And he has given us so much problems. Ever since he arrived, he has been taking people from the group and telling them not to pay. So they haven't been paying. I've paid over $50,000 of my own money into this project so that we can keep it alive. So he formed a separate group from the main group and has been going to court. Every time we try to call a meeting, he doesn't come. So they don't come to the meeting. All they do is to disturb us. So they come and they go and tell the other guys don't pay. So that is Oscar Tapera. So we're going to give him the project at Kariba, and he can do whatever he likes. So I'm going to write, and he sues all sorts of people. He goes and sues Kariba City Council. He goes and sues the people who sold us the land. He goes and sues the person who sold us the land. So from 2022, our project has stopped. It has not been able to operate because of Oscar Tapera. So we'll give him the land. We'll give him the authority to run the project. So as I said, I'm going to send that to the court today. And let's see who's the judge here. I'm trying to find who's the judge in this court. So this will be the civil division, and before the Honorable Katio. So Honorable Katio, I don't know how a case that was struck off the road ends up in front of Honorable Katio. But as I said, I have never struggled because we are blessed. I had 1,000 people in a group. So I've set up 3 projects in Zimbabwe, 3 land projects. We've done Harare, we've done Kariba, we've done Bulawayo. There is no project that I start where people don't come. That is because everything of mine is open and above board. I have never taken a cent from anyone. At Kariba, the monies were deposited into the seller's land bank account. I have never received any money from anybody. Money was deposited into the accounts of the people. I will never lose because I don't take anyone's money. So you will see that eventually we'll get this done. And when we move from one project, we're going to move to another one, and it will work. And it's a shame that someone who comes to some people who are building then goes out and disturbs, disturbing a project. I don't know what kind of spirit that is. You keep going to disturb and disturb and disturb. That is, it's easier to disturb than to build. And many people will find out that you need the blessings to build, not to destroy. So Pasinavo, I've said it, Pasinavo, Putsa, Munza Musha. Okay, how can you say Bulawayo Council is the most corrupt council? You are lying and biased. Yes, Bulawayo Council is very corrupt. We went there, I had 20 people gathered. What we're planning to do was to build a complex, a residential complex with sporting facilities with land of about, I think it was 4 hectares of something like that. And we're the only persons there. So when the bid time was 8 o'clock, I flew my guy to Bulawayo. He arrived there. He put the bid in. There was no one else standing. They were the only ones. And then after we did the bid, we were told we'll come back. The answer will be given on a certain date. And then when the debt came, guess what? The person who won the bid was not even there. Very corrupt people. And then the people haven't built. So Nkulumane was not done. There was a land there for filling station. It wasn't built. It's been 4 years, no building. That place in Sobon has not been built, nothing. Bulawayo has not had a land deal. So they've not put out land until this present expression of interest. And do you think I want to build in a place with no water? I'm not going to do it. I'm just not interested. And then Gambakwe, you are a conman who don't want to hear about dubious projects. Set. What are you talking about? How can I have a conman and be here every day? If I con you, come here. Like, I can literally give you a link right now. So we can put a link right now and say, come and talk. If we're conned by Gambakwe, the problem with our people is you can't build. You always be in these funny countries where you are insulted and called names and you don't want to build anything. Zimbabwe will be taken by strangers and foreigners because you don't build. And the government has got no plan. So there's no plan for building in Zimbabwe. I have gone to every office in Zimbabwe. I've gone to Garwe's office. I've gone to all these guys' offices. What is your plan for the diaspora? Nothing. They've got no plan. In fact, I put a link there. Every day, I want to challenge anyone who has ever done more projects than Gambakwe to come out. And if you take my projects, you won't be able to run them. You can't. You won't be able to do it because to run projects, you need love. So you need to be someone that is loving what you're doing. If you think you can just go, so I have so many people who come to our projects, what they do, they come and they think they can do better. So what they do, they then go and tell everyone that, no, let's not do this with Gambakwe. I will do it better. I will control this project. They take it, and very soon you realize that they can't do it. That is because how can you go to someone that you've never seen? Someone that is a stranger. Gambakwe, you see him every day. How do you go to a stranger that you don't know? If he runs away with your money, what will you do? So you are following someone who is a ghost. And the last time we had a group, some people came from the UK and they formed their own group inside the group. They took people and went away. We paid them 400,000 rands. They came and said they want 400,000 rands. So they took the contribution of the other members and went away. Nothing ever happened. So we have this so often, but we are learning as we go. So the AFM project that we're doing now is going to have very strict parameters. We are not going to just allow everybody. And one thing we'll never do, we're not going to form WhatsApp groups because it's as if they infiltrate these WhatsApp groups. And when they come in there, they just take people, write down all the numbers of everyone, they start another group. I don't know if this is Zimbabwe intelligence or what, but it's so pathetic what is happening in Zimbabwe. You cannot do a project without someone coming to disrupt. And what Oscar has done is so shameful. I never wanted to talk about Oscar. I write to Oscar, Urukudei, what do you want? You keep going to these courts. What do you want? Takamupa, chitora lende yacho uite. It doesn't come. We go to Tamuka. Onode, chicha urukuda. Tikupe, uite. What do you want? They disappear. They never come. When there's a meeting, they don't come. They only come to go to court. And it's so sad. So sad. But the good thing is that Zimbabwe itself, it needs investors. And you are the investors. You, the Zimbabweans and the diaspora, are the investors. But you need a bridge. You can't just invest in the air. You need someone to take you there. And that is why a person on the platform is a better person to work with than someone that just come. Right. They took over Nyoka's case. Everything collapsed. Yes, that's correct. But anyway, I don't want to keep talking about myself. We have suffered so many losses. But what I know is that one day we are going to have something that will erase all the losses that we've suffered. All right. I think we've covered everything. Very clear. No doubt about anything. We'll go and watch The Prophecy by Apostle Simon Shilo on Nelson Chamisa. I like Apostle Simon Shilo. He's afraid to talk to me now. He doesn't talk to me. Like every time I call him, he doesn't answer. Apostle Shilo has issued a prophecy on Nelson Chamisa. And he started in December, issued the return of Nelson Chamisa. He has now issued the coming thing. What is going to happen to Nelson Chamisa? Go and check it out. It's called The End Game, Zimbabwe Prophecy. One of the most powerful prophecies on what Nelson Chamisa is going to do. He also prophesied on the buying of the CC, that they're going to be bought by ZANU. So that is crazy. You're going to see such a prophecy. What Nelson Chamisa is going to do next, how he's going to work with the Mnangagwa. So go and check it out. It's over there. And Prophet Shilo is very interesting. He's a very calm guy. Right, I would like to thank all of you for watching. I'll see you guys a bit later. Let's see what Nelson Chamisa has said. And a good day to you all.